Yeah, so I was born with obviously craneosinostosis, specifically coronal synostosis, where the soft spot on my head, I can actually show you my scar. It goes all the
Okay.
way around my head. I just got a haircut today, so it works out good. But basically my soft spot closed and it caused this part of my head to be completely flat. It's still
Mm,
actually misshapen today. It's still really flat right here. Um, I was very fortunate that mine, it was serious. I did have to have surgery, obviously, because I have the scar. But it wasn't serious to where I have any, remaining effects from that. For others, it is worse. Sometimes there's, affects them for the rest of their life. Some don't have it as bad to the point where they don't even need surgery. They just wear they just wear a little helmet or something like that. So it's one of those things that isn't talked about, but it affects a lot of people. It affects 1 in every 2 to 3,000 kids. So
that's a
it's a
lot.
lot. It's a lot more common than people think. And I'm very fortunate to work alongside a great nonprofit called FACES, the National Craniofacial Association.
Hmm.
They deal with helping families who deal with these craniofacial differences, just like craniosynostosis. So they tackle a whole variety of different craniofacial differences, which is important to me. All faces are the same, and I think that's the most important thing there.
So, what kind of challenges do you go through as a kid or growing
Mhm.
up? Do you have any of those challenges still happening? How much that has affected I would say, the functioning or in general, the general well-being of the person? How much does that affect in your
So
case?
for myself, I haven't had any like anything residual, nothing, affecting me. But
Okay.
after getting more involved in the craniosynostosis community, I've learned a lot more about some families who to this day are still, suffering the consequences of just how all this happens, all the surgery, or not being able to afford surgery and stuff like that. It's tough. And I know a lot of parents out there, they're concerned when their kid has a craneosynostosis. They worry if if they'll be able to chase their dreams of being an athlete or being a race car driver. So whenever I go to a racetrack and I see a kid with craneosynostosis, I try to be that guy that's kind of like the inspiration for them and kind of shows them that I'm, they could still, do what they want to do in life. They could still pursue this dream. They don't have to let this hold them back. And I think that's a really important thing there. It makes my day seeing these kids when we pose next to the race car. Whenever I have a craniosynostosis organization on the car, we'll pose next to the car. We'll point to our scars. So that's pretty cool.
That's awesome. So, what are some of the things that you hear from the fans or the parents when they approach you? When you're talking about this, what do they tell you?
you know like I said, it's a lot about just being that source of inspiration
Hmm.
to these families, to these kids. They have that question of, can I do this? Can I you know be the person I want to be with this difference that I have? And I'm here to show them, yeah, you can. You can still chase this. I'm not only am I one of the few, if not only, craniosynostosis athletes out there, but
Hmm.
we have a lot of barriers that I had to break through to get to this point, and I still have a long way to go. So there's just so many things that I want to do as an individual to show these families and show these kids that they could chase their dreams.
What kind of things do your parents tell you? Because I'm pretty sure when you were born and they realized what was going on, what were the things that they struggled with? What did they have to go through when this came out to be?
So obviously there was worry. My mom had the same worries that all these parents that I talked to have. Like, are there going to be any are there going to be any
Long
residual
term. Hmm.
issues? Yeah, is this going to be a long-term thing? What are some things that we have to look out for? And like I said earlier, I'm very fortunate to the point where I don't currently have any residual issues.
Hmm.
For myself, you know they were definitely worried. There was that worry there. And it's tough. Getting the surgery is not cheap. It's a very extensive process. There's overnight stays, and it's just something that isn't talked about enough,
Yeah.
I feel.
how old were you when they did your first surgery? Was it one surgery or
It
were
was
it
just
many?
one.
One.
It was
Okay.
just one surgery. I was 11 months old.
11 months old. Wow.
Hmm.
Okay. Now your helmet. Talk to me
Hmm.
about your helmet, because you also have that on your helmet. You have the
Yep.
scar on the helmet. What was the
Yeah.
inspiration
So
about it?
I just wanted to kind of show that, to the people, show that that's kind of who I am, the scar.
Mm.
If I didn't have this surgery, I wouldn't be here. I frankly, I don't think I could, you know, be the person I am today if I didn't, get this surgery. Who knows what I'd be, so for me, it's a source of inspiration to me. I look at the scar in the mirror and I don't see it as something that's, wrong with me. I see it as a thing that, is as the reason that I'm here. And so I put it on all of my helmet designs, and that's going to be something I do until I stop racing, is continue to have the scar on the helmet.